everyone, welcome to the grand return of What Mark Spins, my vinyl collection series. So I'm going to be doing a couple things a little bit differently from here on out in this series. I noticed that when I'm editing past episodes, no matter how much tight editing I do, I just always end up rambling, kind of doing like a mini review of the album, which, I mean, for something that's like 30, 40 years old, it's not really necessary, you know? So what I'm doing now is I'm keeping a timer for 5 minutes for the whole raw footage of the video, just kind of get all the thoughts out there on all, in this case, 6 records I'm going to be talking about here, just so I know I'm only getting out the thoughts that really need to be said. Also, 6 records, this is split across 3 artists who could all be classified as like cheesy, classic 70s, 80s piano pop rock, and if you don't like that style, then please stick around because this isn't one of the higher viewing series on the channel. Anyway, let's get this started right about now. So the first record I have here is Billy Joel, Glass Houses. I haven't really heard too many full-length albums of his, but, you know, I have a couple greatest hits albums, which is how I got really familiar with a ton of his stuff as a kid, really became a big fan of that. This record here from 1980 definitely shows him going more new wave, rock, kind of direction. You definitely hear the 1980 in this, kind of trying to go for a Cars thing on songs like Sometimes a Fantasy, You May Be Right. It's funny, the entire first side of this is the hits, and the entire second side is like deep cuts that are decent but just good. I kind of call that the hot fuss syndrome. But anyway, it has like You May Be Right, Don't Ask Me Why, Still Rock and Roll to Me, All for Lena, all great singles of his, arguably. And yeah, I suppose if you're not really as much a fan of the ballady side of things from Billy Joel and want more of the tight songcraft and kind of edgier stuff by Billy Joel standards, it's definitely worth checking out, in my opinion, if you want some of the less Elton Johnny stuff. If you want more of the Elton Johnny kind of stuff, might I recommend one of these 3 Elton John records I have. It's funny, I've never really been like a completist on Elton John, which, I mean, how can you be? He has like 50 albums or something. But first one here, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, iconic record, obviously. I just love what they do with like the inside of this. Like, you don't see this much effort put into individual songs on liner notes really anymore, but also like on classic record theater. This is just incredible, especially for a double album. Like, doing for track by track is kind of incredible. I just kind of love how diverse this thing is, just from being a double album. Like, even a double album on CD, I think, which is crazy to think. Funeral for a Friend, Love's Lies Bleeding, just a beautiful way to open this thing on this 11-minute partially instrumental thing. Gorgeous. And it has the hits, you know, Candle in the Wind, Banging the Jets, the title track, which I found myself relating to more and more every time. And yeah, I don't want to talk too much about all the rest of the songs here. I've seen that movie too is a really underrated deep cut, same with Grey Seal. But yeah, that's really all I want to talk about with this. And then, I'll put it like this, Rock of the Westies, this is the second album I have from him. If Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting is your favorite song from Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, or at least your favorite single from it, then I would definitely recommend this, because this is basically 9 tracks of that kind of in-your-face piano rock that's just a lot of fun and stuff. Some great ballads too, like I Feel Like a Bullet in the Gun of Robert Ford. That title's too long for this kind of time limit. And it's funny, like, the only real hit from this album is Island Girl, which is like probably the cheesiest song on here, next to Grow Some Funk of Your Own. And yeah, you know, that's something I did want to bring up, it's funny, I've never really been much the social justice warrior, you know, calling out offensive, incendiary language, you know, kind of guy. But on Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, there's a couple songs on it that just really rub you the wrong way if you look at them from a 2016 perspective. Dirty Little Girl and Jamaica Jerk Off, which is like this weird, racially awkward thing. You got kind of a similar thing as Jamaica Jerk Off on Grow Some Funk of Your Own. I don't really want to delve too much into it now. And then the third one here on that note of positivity is Too Low for Zero, which features I'm Still Standing, Guess What's What I Call It, the Blues. This is kind of to him what I suppose Glass Houses was for Billy Joel. It's definitely him going more 80s, but in a lot more of a synthy kind of way. I think he pulls it off pretty well on a lot of these songs. And I only have a minute left. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Next up are my 2 Journey records. We have Evolution first. I'd never actually heard this album before I got it, which isn't the case for the next one I have here. The hit from it really is Love and Touch and Squeezin'. It's just kind of this album between Infinity and Departure and Escape, where it's just like no one really talks about it as much. And honestly, a lot of it is kind of typical classic rock stuff, I wouldn't really recommend it as like a starting point. You know, you guys know I'm a fan of Journey. If you saw that like reaction video I did, they were literally my first review, and that album's still super underrated. Escape, which is probably their highest selling album besides their greatest hits album. And only 15 seconds left. I don't care, I'm going to talk about this because it's a great record. If you don't count Don't Stop Believin' and Open Arms, which honestly have just kind of gotten ruined over time by overplaying, this is still a fantastic pop rock record. Shut up. There are a lot of great singles from this, like Stone in Love, Who's Crying Now. Still They Ride was kind of the single that kind of dropped off, but I think it's a pretty good song too. But honestly, a lot of the deep cuts are super underrated on this. I think this is probably one of their best, like, all the way through albums. Like, Keep On Runnin' and Dead or Alive are these songs that almost go for like a punk thing by Journey standards, and Mother Father is like one of my favorite songs from them. It may be my favorite song from them. It's just because like when you delve into the lyrics of it, because it's weird, because lyrics aren't really a thing that Journey are that, you know, revered for, but that one, and man, I've got to stop this video now. I'm rambling, that's what the timer is for. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of What Mark Spins. Hopefully I can wrap it up into something coherent, and I can't promise videos coming all that consistently in the future, just because, again, weird life stuff like I mentioned in my past video. By the way, if you didn't see that, I'm selling a bunch of music on there, and it's being updated all the time. I recommend looking at that. If you have any thoughts on the records here, if you have anything you want to ask me about any of them, because I'm open to more discussion, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, hope you'll see you in the next episode of Spin It Reviews, or What Mark Spins, or whatever I do.